Hello everyone. Time for a Sunday Arvo live feed. It's pretty rare around here, Sunday Arvo live feeds, so why not, eh? Going to shoot out some invites because that's what we do here. So bear with me momentarily. The Australians are going to love this time for a live feed. Right, while I wait for some of you guys to roll in, I'm going to finish putting the body on my truck. Ed's joined us. Thanks for joining, Ed. How are you, mate? I'm just putting the body back on my truck. Mr. Leach has joined us. Hello, Mr. Leach. I started doing this the other day after I fixed my truck because I broke my truck. For those that weren't here, I popped a pin out of the drive shaft while I was out in the trails. Mr. Leach says hello. Hello, Mr. Leach. How's the weather up in Queensland today? Is it hot? It's pretty hot here. It's good? Good. Now what I have to do, I started putting this body on the other day and I didn't use my brains. Okay, use your brains when you do this stuff, kids. I didn't put the wires back where they're supposed to go, and then I tried to put the body on and everything just sort of squished. So I'm just quickly going to lift the body back up and squish the wires back in and then put the body back on. Lawrence has joined us, I believe, looking at the little logos at the top. A bit hot and windy. At least you've got wind. Like there's wind there, not you've got wind. Hello, Robert. How are you, mate? It's just hot here at the moment. Dion's joined us. Thanks for joining, Dion. I don't know what time it is in Canada land. Right, so I'm gonna fix this up, and then I thought I might even. It's almost his bedtime. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Today's just a bit of a screw it on to a live feed. I'm gonna tinker with me big truck here. Put the body back on it, and then I might see if I can make a UHF radio for one of my trucks. Ed, we have a bunch of snow. You got cyclone type wind. That's not good, Chris. Hope everything stays where it's supposed to stay. Right now, just gonna lift the cab on this beast. Make sure the bazillion wires, and that's no exaggeration. There is a bazillion wires for this truck. They've all got to be tucked up in there. So when this sits down, everything's all happy. If you want a workout, get yourself across BC8 and then lift it up a few times. Crazy heavy. Crazy. Did I bolt that down? I started to. I might have to take that off. You'll also need a big bench if you want to have one of these trucks. Oh, Jesus, that's heavy. Right. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just having a bit of a tinker. I thought too we could talk about the fact that we've hit 2K. Obviously I was a bit surprised at how quick we hit 2K with Dennis inviting all of his mates last night. That's not a beast. This is a beast. Go on and say it. Who was it? Someone posted up a picture of that Capo Jeep saying this is the most beast of a crawler or something like that. So I just put up a picture of this thing and put challenge accepted. Yes, the tyres, I believe they are 2.2s. I know they're big. Yes, 2.2s. The only truck I've got with 2.2s on it. And with 1.9s, it just looks silly. Right, so we'll move that back a bit. I've just got to make sure that cab's going to sit down properly. I'm touching something somewhere where it shouldn't be, and that's why it's not going where it should, if that makes any sense. So just bear with me. I think that's better. I think. There's a wire in the way. There's a lot of wires in this truck. So sorry if the first part of this live feed's boring. It's legit just going to be me poking wires back in this truck, getting the body into position, and then putting the body back down. I think I've got it. Whew. Crazy. They picked a perfect name for this truck. They could have called it the Heavy. The Heavy would have worked. Is it starting? Yes. Yes, they could have called it the Cross RC Heavy Duty. Cross RC Watch Your Back. Because it's a biggie. Where's that front one? Yeah. So, for those that don't know, four screws hold your cab down. Four screws hold the cab down, and then there's two little scale bolts that hold the rear mud flaps down. Right, that's in that side. Now I'll swing it back around this side, make sure the other side goes in. Cray cray. I don't say cray cray. So what's everyone up to? We don't usually do live feeds this time of the day, so I don't know what you're doing. Still a little bit tight there. Why is it tight? What's it touching? Oops. That should be alright. That should be alright. That starts to be right. I think that needs to come back a smidge. Go in, bolt. It has started. Mr. Litch is just chilling. That's what I was doing, mate. And I thought, look, I've got to finish putting this body back on so that way I can drive it. Damn, okay, I don't want to know. Fair enough. Generally, if someone says you might not want to know, okay, I'm cool with that. Right, that's going to go back on there. Put this front box in. Lovely, that should go straight in. Lawrence just finished dinner. Good timing, he says. Well, look, if the odd live feed at this time is popular, then I might see if I can do some more. Right, that one's in. Lovely. So the cab's bolted back down. Now I have to bolt down the big toolbox on the back, which is essentially the big fan cover for the motor. Lovely. Someone joined us. Jamie Cox has joined us. Thanks for joining, Jamie. Much appreciated. If there's anything you guys want to see, just let me know. Robert, nothing. Just looking at what's happening on Facebook. All the action is here, my friend. All the action is here. So, obviously, top tip, when you've got a bolt that's full of dirt and shit, get your X-Acto blade and just get the dirt out. That's going to make it so your hex driver fits properly, and you won't strip the bolt. So yes, we've hit 2K, which is excellent. So now there's going to have to be a competition in there, so we can give away the RC kit, which none of you guys know what it is. Oh, I put those scale bolts in. Wherever I put the scale bolt tool. Now I've got some ideas in my head for a competition. I've got no idea where I put that. There it is. I've got some ideas in my head for competition. If there's any suggestions you guys have got, of course you can let me know. And if it's better than my idea, well, hell, we'll do your idea. Mr. Leach is keen for a comp. I love doing competitions. I do. It's not always easy. It's not always easy. I wish I could do a competition every week, but I ain't got that much money. Right, that's got those two bolts in. Now we can flip it the other side, put the other bolts in, put an extra little fuel tank on, and then I think we're sweet. Ugh. This was a terrible idea. Hamish has joined us. Thanks for joining, Hamish. Much appreciated. Right, clean the dirt out of this bolt. So yes, would you like to know what the prize is for the competition? Cooperate. I've got two light wires here that run from the front of the back of the truck that have to sneak up the inside of this little bracket here. These trucks are very, very detailed. Lovely. Adam would like to know what it is. It's pretty cool. I know because I've built one. Ed would like to know. Robert would like to know. Of course you'd like to know, Robert. I should bloody exclude you from this competition. All you do is win all of them. What is my next build? At the moment, I've got to finish some builds. I've got a build I'm doing for a guy in Hong Kong. I've got to finish that. None of you guys have seen that yet. You'll see that when it's finished. So I've got that build I've got to finish. Do you remember I started a CCO1? Do you remember? I started building a Tamiya CCO1. And then it was put in the box because I had some other cross stuff I wanted to build turn up. So I started building that. Forgot all about the CCO1. So I've got to finish that. I've got to paint the body for... I've got to paint the body for the little race car. I've got the paint. I've got the body. I've just got to mask it up and paint it. So that's on my list. I need this one. So I've got to do that. So I think for the next little bit, at least anyway, it's going to be a bit of clean-up, mate. Try and and I want to do some more in the garage too. I want to sort of finalise where I'm putting everything in the garage. I've got to do some more work on that so it's all pretty and scale and such. I think the next step with the garage is the decals. Silly as that probably sounds. When the decal sheet turns up, then I can do that. Rob, I've only won one cop. The other one was the only... No, because you remember you won the one on RC Mart's thing too. That's what I meant. Right, so that's back on. That's on. Those bolts are in. Excuse the earthquake when this thing drops. Now, before I put it back on the shelf, I'm going to dust some of the crap off it because I love my truck. If you want your truck to look after you, look after your truck. A brush like this is really good for cleaning all the dust out of... Oh, I've got to put those two bolts in. It's really good for getting all the dirt out of those fine nooks and crannies, as it were. Right, so in goes my scale bolties. Dion, I just ordered a Suzuki body from JS Scale. I haven't even finished the other four yet. This is what happens, man. Like, my memory is not brilliant, if I'm honest. So, that's what happens. Like, that, and I guess too, because that CCO1 is a Lexan body one, and it's not an original CCO1, and it's a FJ Cruiser, I wasn't that really phased about it. I was like, oh, I forgot to build that CCO1. No, shit happens, I'll build it. And then I forget about it. So I will have to finish that truck off, because, I mean, I love a CCO1. They're cool trucks. Right, so I'm quickly going to just dust off the majority of the crap. Take that battery out of there. Don't leave batteries in your trucks, people. It's unplugged, so that's the main thing. Jamie, I use a toothbrush. The only reason I don't use a toothbrush is the bristles are too coarse. You might actually scratch your truck, I find. That's why something like this, just a little soft brush, brilliant. Top tip for free. Right. Close all these up, wipe some dust off, put it on the shelf, and then we'll decide what we're going to do next. Actually, after I put this on the shelf, I'll show you what the kit is that is going to be in the competition. I love how scaled this thing is. Lockdown latches for all these doors. Epic. Also, I've ordered drivers for the SU4C. So I've got 2 people coming for that. They weren't cheap. Stupid how much you pay for an action figure to put in your truck to just sit there. Have you seen that Range Rover Classic engine from Mr. Commodore yet? No, he hasn't sent me one. I thought he would have. I thought something like that would look pretty sweet in the BCRC garage. I might have seen it. I think I may have seen it. It gets, look, I feel bad if someone says to me, oh, did you see this that I posted? And I'm like, nah. I get tagged in so much stuff. I get added to probably anywhere between 5 and 10 Facebook groups a day. What size are the tyres on that? They are 135 by 48 by 2.2. So 135 millimetres tall, 48 millimetres wide, and they're 2.2s. I shouldn't say they're too loud. I'll wake up Tony. Anyway, I'm just doing a quick dust. Just so it doesn't look like crap on my shelf. I love this truck. I'm so glad it was only that drive shaft pin. Right, just a quick dust. This just helps keep your truck in Mickey Mouse condition. All you Australians know what I mean. Mickey Mouse, spot on, awesome. You've got to look after your stuff. If your stuff breaks and it's because of you haven't really looked after it very well, then you can't turn around and go, oh, that brand's crap because their stuff just breaks. You've got to look after it. Anyone got any questions? We do questions here too. I've got a question actually. Dion, have you fixed that bloody PG4 yet? If you haven't, I'll give you my address and you can send it to me. We'll give it a new home. You can live with all my cross trucks. I think I've decided what cross truck I want next too. Because my goal is to one day own one of all the cross trucks. The only issue is they keep pumping out more cross trucks. Costs a lot of money. I actually missed out the other day. I don't know, Leachy, if you've seen it. Bloke advertised a HC4 in Queensland, $300 for an unfinished kit. I messaged him as soon as I seen it, which was like 2 minutes after he posted it, and he already sold it. So pissed. $300 out on it. Crazy. Right. So this big beast, that gives you an idea of the size of this truck. It's big. You can go back on the shelf. Right. David Foster's joined us. Thanks for joining, David. You can have a swig of my coffee. Yeah, I've seen that. That's the one I wanted. Too cheap, mate. Too bloody cheap. Anyway, it is what it is. I missed out. So, my brain is like a sieve. Okay. Yep, seen it. Went real quick. Did you buy it, Mr. Leach? Did you? My brain for a minute went, bloody Leach, you bought that, I bet you. Did you buy it? Anyway. So, the prize for the competition is going to be one of these bad boys. It's going to be an RC Express XM1S chassis kit that you build yourself. And that's bipping awesome. Part of the reason it's bipping awesome is I talked to some of my friends at RC Mart and said, look, my group's nearly hit 2,000 members. Just throwing it out there. Give us a prize so I can do a giveaway. And they said, yep, okay. Which is epic. I mean, shout out to RC Mart. I've got their massive trackside banner here. Shout out to RC Mart. They have been epic with BCRC. They've helped us with competitions, give us prizes. They've really looked after us. So, massive thank you to RC Mart. So, one of these kits, I mean, this thing is epic. Obviously, you need your own motor and ESC and servo. That's just how it is. So, I mean, these things are epic. This is obviously brand new, perfect condition because we haven't driven it yet. Okay? So that's on my list. I've got to finish. Actually, what we could do, if I can remember what I did with my receiver, I can put a receiver in this and we can make this a driver. I've got the ESC in it, the motor in it, servos in it, radio. Let's do that. What do you reckon? So yeah, massive thanks to RC Mart. Like I said, if you haven't liked their page, why haven't you? They're bloody epic. Where did I put my receivers? Now I had one receiver here. There's your drift car. This technically is a four-wheel drive race car, but you could drift it. I've got drift wheels and tyres on it. If you if you threw this into a corner and just like slung it in there, it'd drift. The steering lock's not optimal for drifting, but as far as a four-wheel drifter goes, I can't see why not. Now, I'm going to have a quick browse. What's that one? I don't want to use that one. Look at the size of that receiver. Huge. I did buy a receiver that was just a 2-channel. And I've probably got no idea where it is, if I'm honest. Okay, let's see here. Let's just throw one of these in it for now. I will be changing this. This is a BS6. This is too fancy a receiver for this car because it's a 6-channel. You do not need a 6-channel receiver in a car like this. Now, somewhere here, I have a little lipo, like a little one. I've got all these batteries sitting up here. Of course, this will do for plugging it in. Right, I'm using double-sided tape, which is here. So yes, that's the prize. Epic. Now, if you do want to do a bit of light racing and that sort of thing, get yourself that Year Racing motor and ESC combo. It was pretty bloody cheap. I can't remember the exact price. You'd have to message me after or go and look at it on RC Mate yourself. It's a 13-turn brushed motor, which for this little car is plenty. If you go smashing a big brushless setup in it, you're gonna wreck something. You could use the gyro feature in that. I knew you were going to say that, Rob. You're right up there with the dealie. Oh my God! Did you pull that from the roof? I've got my garage has a roof in it, so like there's full roof in the garage. This is sitting up here. I've got trucks and lipos and controllers and everything above me. Ta-da! So anyway, right. First things first. That plug. One of those is the servo. What servo's in this? A Samwar servo. It was floating around my drawer. I don't know if it's any good, but it's in there. Right, so I'm just going to stick my receiver down. And we're going to plug all this in and see what happens. There's a pretty good chance I'll have to take the servo out to line up the thing straight and all that sort of jazz, but we'll see. It'll just be nice to see this thing move. Because so far all it's done has been built and sat on the shelf. So yes, Reese, I pulled that battery down from my roof. Right. Now if you're wondering why I've got red paint on my hands, I came into the garage thinking, yep, I'm going to do a light feed. And I looked at my bench, my garage here, and I had a little tin of red paint on the thing. You can see where this is going. Little tin of red paint sitting here. And apparently, that's not going anywhere. Apparently, I didn't do the lid up properly and the paint thing was on its side and it was like a bloodbath in here. Now, top tip, this floor is stick-on tiles. This here is Tamiya polycarbonate body cleaner. If you spill paint on your tiles, you can use this stuff and it will instantly peel the paint off. Don't put heaps on, don't go crazy, because this stuff is strong. Don't use it on a Lexan body. This stuff is strong. Like when I say don't use it on a Lexan body, don't try and wipe something on the inside with it, because it'll just take the paint clean off. Like, gone. Okay, so, ESC, that one. I might have to snip one of those wire ties there. Channel number 2. I believe that's an ESC. No, it's not. That's the servo. That there. ESC into channel 2. Cooperate. Right, now, top tip for all those that haven't heard it before, whenever you're first binding up your car, don't just have it sitting on the bench in case it goes through and takes off. Top tip. Right. Now, where did I put my battery plug? There. That battery can sit on the desk. Yoink. That shouldn't be something. No, that's okay. Oh, no, it's not. Turn that off. Right, I'll go into my radio. This is the FlySky GT5, and it's literally this quick to make up a new model. Push the button twice. Scroll till you get to the model number you want. Name. What will I call this thing? We'll call it race. A C A race. Okay, done. Okay, so now that's that model created. Now I'll turn that off. I'll turn the car on in bind mode. I'll hold the bind button on the radio and turn the radio on. Done. Man, I nailed that servo position. Bear with me, people. There is an integral piece I forgot to put in the car. Please tell me I put it in this drawer. I'm sure I put it in this drawer. It's in somewhere. It's in one of these bloody drawers anyway. What I'm looking for is the spur kit. So whoever wins the kit, you'll have to buy your own spur gear. Message me and I will let you know what size one to get. It's a 30 tooth. I can't remember what dinghy for it. Now I'm not going to be able to find that gear, but it works. That's the motor pinging away. Is that it? Lovely. Right, so now that it all works, we turn the car off, pull the bind plug out, throw that in the drawer where we'll remember where it is later, but we won't really remember, and then we'll spend an hour searching for it. Does that happen to any of you guys, or is it just me? Right, that can stay up there. Right, so for whoever wins the car, not this one, but the one that you're going to build, you're going to need an MG64030 spur gear. 64 pitch 32. Right. So I'm going to put this on the car. I don't know if I've got to take the motor out to do it, but either way, turn that radio off so I don't lose all the battery power. Yoink. And then finally, this little car is going to move, and it's going to be a real RC car, not a pretend one. Pay attention to that tip, Reese. Always turn your remote on. Yes, do turn your remote on first. Because if you don't, shite will happen. Here's a top tip, and I reminded myself of this the other day when I took the BCRC out. What kind of car are you working on? We're working on the RC Express XM1S chassis. We finally made it live. And on my list, I'm going to paint the body and put it on and make it look like a real car. Anyway, let me just bear with me, peoples. Bear with me here. I'll tell you what. Concentration face is real. Just making sure I've lined up my my grub screw with the flat spot on the motor. God, that took a lot of effort. Robert, Hobby King Australia had scratch and dent. Turnigy DT5s for $70. Jeez. Should have told me, I probably would have brought another one. That's bloody cheap. They're a brilliant radio. Right, now that's there, I've got to set my mesh. If I could find the other... Right, loosen that one. loosen that. I may have to use a different bolt somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the bottom one. I reckon. You'll understand what I mean when you look at these engine mounts. Motor mounts, whatever you want to call it. Is that in there? So bear with me a moment. Loosey. I will have to put one in that bottom thing up, I think. Because that there is not going to go. Has to be that one. Has to be. I asked a mate about it. Did you see my weathered 69 Camaro? I honestly can't remember if I did, mate. I may have, I may not have. And if I didn't, I apologise. I do try and watch what everyone's doing and see everything everyone wants me to see. Just going to take these bolts out because I'm not getting the motor across enough. Which is true 1-to-1. Tamiya's closer. Not many RCs are actually true to scale. They're just whatever's closest. But the Tamiya's probably the closest. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to need a bigger gear on that. Because, alright, where am I? Oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. It looks like I think I need a bigger gear. Because I don't seem to be able to get it back far enough. Unless I've cocked up somewhere. Which is quite the possibility. This is why it's been on my shelf. That's going to need a bigger gear, I believe. So to my mate that told me this was the gear I needed, you're wrong. Because that won't line up. Yeah. So that wrecks that idea. I'm going to have to look further into that. So it moved. Well, it didn't move. It revved. I'll put these bolts back in here. And then I'm going to start working on... I mean, if there's anything you want to see, let me know and I'll show you that first. Actually, I'll rough bolt that back in. Just so I don't lose anything. So apparently that gear's the wrong size. It's not big enough from what I can see. It doesn't seem to want to go back far enough to touch. Yeah, that's weird. That's touching, but I don't like how it's sitting. It's not perfect enough. Does the motor mount slide on the chassis plate? No, that's what I was looking underneath for, mate. It's just the one setting. So, yes, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Look, truth be told, there could be... I'm supposed to put a spacer in there. I'll go back through the book. Because if I used a spacer, it'd probably fit. Probably. I will look into it. I'm sure that piece is correct. Yeah, that's correct. Don't know. I'll look into it. I'll suss it out. You're just used to the big stuff. It's been a long time since I played with anything this small. I'll see if I can put this bolt in. It's frustrating. Because you say to yourself, yeah, I'll finally get off my ass and get this car going. No, you won't. It's all right. I'm in no rush, as you probably could tell. No rush, Keith. If that bracket was the other way around, it'd probably scooch back enough. I'll do some research and I'll let you know. Anyway, I'll put this bolt in there where I keep all my spare bolts. I'll tighten this one up so that motor doesn't come out. But anywho, I'll suss out the issue I'm having and then let you guys know so that when you build, whoever wins one of these, you know exactly what you're up against. But I mean, other than that, epic little chassis. Light as buggery. Check out the centre of gravity on this thing. It's like laying on the floor. Epic. For those that haven't seen the body, this is the body we're going with. Now this was decided by the members. It's a bit hard to sit on here with these massive drift wheels on it because it just wants to fall off all the time. But we've got a little Sprinter. Now these wheels are literally just going to be my shelf wheels. They're for displays. I've got some proper M series size wheels and tyres to go on the chassis. But that's the little body we've got for it. Top tip, whoever wins the kit, get yourself one of these ABC bodies because they're beeping epic. For the money, they are epic. Pure and simple. Dennis has joined us. Morning, Dennis. It's a beastie looking little thing. I really should paint it. Should do a lot of things. Right. That can sit to the side now. Excuse the noise. Right. What else was I going to do? Something I wanted to check. Now, my PG4. I was watching some YouTube last night. My own YouTube. I don't care if that sounds wanky. I was watching some YouTube last night. I've got too many trucks. Hashtag need more shops. Now, my PG4, which I love dearly, it's one of the best cross trucks ever released. For those that haven't seen it, this is a PG4. I love my truck. I do. It's just awesome. I love it. Anyway, on this thing, I want to take these wheels and tyres off and put the original ones back on it. So I think I'm gonna pull these wheels apart and start building the original wheels and tyres back up because there's just, I don't know, there's something for me about this truck with its original wheels and tyres. These D1RC wheels are pretty and all that. I love them, but it's just not PG4. It's just not PG. Right, so that's what I'm going to do. If you don't mind, while I do that. No, this one doesn't have an interior. This is one of the earlier cross trucks. The newer SUs and FRs and all that sort of stuff, well, the FR doesn't, but the SPs and things like that, they have interiors. Now, I have a small dream, okay? Now, this might sound retarded to some people, but I don't care. I have a small dream. Actually, I need a bag. I'll show you why in a minute. I want to rework this truck. I want to make it so that there's room for an interior, forward motor mount, the battery can mount possibly in the tray, something like that. But I want to make it so that Cross can make an interior for it. And then I'm going to say, Cross, I've redesigned the PG4. I've made it smoother. I mean, it's pretty damn smooth as it is, but I've made it smoother. I've updated it with your latest trans and all that sort of stuff. Can we work together and make this an updated version of the PG4? Wait, not PG. This here is a PG4. Those are PG4. Right, now I'm going to start taking these wheels off. For those that don't know, and this is why I've got my bag so I don't lose my bolts. Top tip, everyone. Mike Jackson's joined us. Thanks for joining, Mike. Come out, little bolt. Oh, what a nightmare this is going to be. 1,000. So these wheels, if you swipe the comments out of your way and look into here, these bolts actually use, these wheels actually use all these little bolts to hold the wheel on. They don't use the centre wheel nut. The centre wheel nut holds the hub, and then you bolt the wheel on with these. Now, at first, when I seen that, I was like, what a stupid idea. I actually said to D1RC, I said, that's a stupid idea. Because I'm pretty straightforward with this stuff. Anyway, I'm surprised they haven't come off. They've held up well, etc. and so on, which is good. So if you're thinking about buying some wheels like this, I can say they're not just going to fall to pieces. You're not going to lose your wheel on your track. I didn't Loctite these either. Mr. Leach, that's where 3D printers come in handy. Yep. Now, my big goal, Mr. Leach, is to use as many factory cross parts as possible to make my transformation happen. And the reason being, if I can change 90% of this truck with using factory cross parts, well, then they don't have to make new parts. Therefore, it's going to cost less money to update the truck. That's where my brain's at with it. Now, I had the mindset, as for where you can put the battery, you could have a GC4 style battery box. If you want to see it, let me know and I'll grab the truck off the shelf and show you what I'm talking about. You can have a GC4 style battery box in the bed of the truck. Or we could possibly do like the SP4 does, a smaller battery, holds a smaller battery. Oh, finally, that's off. I do like these wheels, but they're a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah. Right. Don't lose this stuff. Right. So once you take your wheel off, so the hub's still, the hub cover's still attached to the wheel. You're making me nervous. Move that X-Acto knife. Oh, great. What are you talking about? Making you nervous. Now, because you've said that, I'm not going to be able to find what I want to find. I'm going to go to move something and I'm going to cut myself. I'm going to blame Robert. Where is my wheel undoer? I've got 100,000 of them here. Whenever I want one, I can't find it. If I have to, I'll look again in a moment. What's in there? Are they my other receivers? Oh, I've got receivers here everywhere. That's your fault, Mr. Goller. Yep, those receivers will work with that radio. So I just went and ordered them. And I believe I ordered those receivers before my truck even turned up. What the bloody hell did I do with that? This one will do, I guess. This is a plastic one. I don't know if it'll take the next shot. There we go. Right. What are you all laughing at? What did I do that was stupid this time? So, come out, Hex. This is what you bolt to your truck, right? You bolt that to your truck, and then this bolts to this. That's how these D1RC wheels work. That can go in the bag. Now I'm going to quickly pull this wheel apart. First, I'm going to grab my X-Acto blade that bloody Robert made me throw away. I'm going to clean, just quickly. This is an old blade, so don't panic. Quickly clean the crap out of the bolt heads. So that I can also quickly undo these. Do they work as a spacer as well? Do what work as a spacer? That hub? Is that what you mean, Jamie? That hub's like no different to what's sitting in the back of your normal wheel. I'd show you with the cross one, but the cross one's a separate hub, of course. Oh, hang on. So this is the standard SU4C wheel. Bloody nice wheel, but I've got 1.55s coming for it. So you see how the normal hub, this is a CNC wheel, so the hub's CNC'd into the wheel. That piece in there is essentially that hub, but you bolt that to the truck first, and then you bolt your wheel to the hub. Righto, can't hang out tonight, but we'll watch in the morning. Already shared, you're a bloody champion, mate. Which is a reminder, if you'd like to give it a share, it'd be greatly appreciated. Now, I had someone say, I think, forget who it was, someone said, oh, but you share it in the groups I'm in. So, yeah, but I share it then, like, after the feed. You guys can share it whenever, you know. Now. Only if you want to. Anyhow, I'm going to quickly peel this apart, and then I'm going to see if I can remember how to put my cross wheels together, because I love those wheels. I watched a YouTube video last night of this truck with its original wheels, and it was like, I just have to put them back on. I have to. So, yeah. I'm winning. This gives us a good chance for a question and answer session, if anyone's got any questions. Any suggestions for things you'd like to see this year in the group or in live feeds? Right, back ring off. Front of the wheel out. I'll give that a quick dust. Because you don't have to put stuff away dirty. Dennis, you talk too fast. Oh, too fast for your morning coffee. Well, mate, get it in you. Because in Australia, we're always in such of a hurry to do stuff. We haven't got time to wait around and talk like this all the time. Right. First one off. I'll take the next... I've got to take that beadlock ring out. Duh. Actually, let me just... Ties too big. So I'm thinking, I'm going to try that. Where did I put those wheels? I've got too much stuff. What I was thinking, not with these tyres, because these tyres are too tall for this truck. They'll hit the guards, and I'm not cutting guards on a truck like this. What do you reckon? What do you reckon of that wheel on there? The only thing is, my finger's stuck. I put that wheel on there. One, it's not as deep as the original wheels, and two, it's got the other hub. And I'm just going to do the factory one. What crawler tyres do you recommend? Well, that all depends on what truck you run. This truck comes with these tyres, and they are pretty epic. Now, when I started doing the video last night, I'll take this other wheel off while I'm talking. I started doing the big video last night. Now, I can't find a heap of video clips, which has irritated the shit out of me. So I'm going to have to do a hunt to see if I've got more on the old laptop. But anyway, I should still have enough, at least half an hour video. And I was watching this truck climb with these factory tyres, and it's like, this is so bloody impressive for what it is. Generally speaking, if you buy a truck, and like the Black Rock tyres as well, those from Cross, they're epic too. They are bloody good. And those wheels, heavy as shit. Can someone take a photo of him while he's thinking? You're a weirdo, man. Don't go creepy on me, Dennis. All right. Anyway, where was I? Dennis sidetracked me with his stalkerish behaviour. Some of the people we have in this group. So, tyres. If you buy a truck, don't immediately assume the tyres are shit. Take it out, drive it for, put 4 hours on your truck before you decide whether you want to change your tyres. And the reason being is, tyres have a thing called mould release. When you first get a tyre, they're like that. They're all shiny, and they're not going to perform as well as the tyre can perform until they're a bit more dull like that, right? A bit more, what's the word, matte? Anyway, so don't just assume that your tyres are shit. Go and put 4 or 5 hours on them first. Try them. I have a Red Cat Gen 7. I can't see why they wouldn't be any good on it. Why they, get some of these. Try the Black Rocks from Cross. Try. They're beefy. I don't know if they're tall enough. How tall are your Gen 7 tyres? I think your Gen 7 tyres are about 110s or something. These ones are only 105s, I think. Or 108s, so it might not be too bad. They're pretty wide, though. Then you've got options like Pipple. Pipple makes some nice tyres. I run Mad Beasts on my TRX4. They're really nice. They are a bit soft. Like the foams are a bit soft. But your Gen 7 is not very heavy, so they might be perfect for that. So yeah, Pipple makes some really nice tyres. Just in my opinion, if you care about scale looks, don't go and buy like those TSL boggers or something like that, because they're just paddle steamer tyres. I don't know if I upset anyone last time I said that. I didn't get any abusive messages, so that's a bonus. I hate doing this. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's because watching that video last night, it was like, she has to be original. I fell in love with this truck in its original form, and that's why it's getting its wheels back. I don't know what I'll put these wheels on. I want those tyres for my new project. Well, if you want some cross RC tyres, talk to Robert Mazza. Tell him I sent you, and he'll look after you as best as he can. Now, you've got to understand, Robert's in the States. If he's going to send you something, you have to pay some shipping. That's just how it is. Now, I know there's some shops in Australia that are stocking cross trucks now, but from my research, no, Robert, hopefully they turn up tomorrow, along with the drivers for the SU4C. The Australian stockists of cross stuff are at the moment a little bit shite for spares. Robert is where you go for spares. So if you want tyres like these, which are pretty epic, message Robert Mazza and say, pretty please, sir, Jono said you'd look after me. Can you look after me and work something out for me? So do that. Yeah, so hopefully, Robert, tomorrow. I really can't wait to drive that truck, and I'm not going to go and drive it on the cross tyres because the truck's not going to live with those, if that makes sense. It's going to live with the 1.55s. So, yeah, I said to myself from the start, I'm going to go 1.55s because on that FR4C, they look the shit. They look awesome. So my plan is, that's what I'm going to stick with. Right. Now I'm going to build these two wheels, if I remember how these go together. Beadlock ring. Wheel front and back. Beadlock ring. Wheel front. Wheel back. Then we have, I'll sit those up here, the extra bits. Let us know what your thoughts are. Of course, mate. Of course. So this is the front hub piece for the cross wheel. This is part of the reason I love these wheels. This is the rear hub piece with your hex, right? Then there's this cap that goes on the front hub. All this is metal, by the way. Right, so I need that one. I need that one. Set these aside. Hopefully that's not too pingy on your ears. Can you run those rims on different offsets? What do you mean, mate? Like, can you change the hub size, do you mean? Right, I'm just going to set the extra stuff out so that I've only got bolts in the bag, just to make it easier to grab the bolts out. Yeah, drop stuff. I don't want to lose anything. I'll irritate the crap out of myself. Right. Ring in the tyre. Yoink. Now, whilst I brush the crap off these, I love these wheels. They're simple yet effective. Now, when you put your cross wheels together, it's a lot like the RC four-wheel drive wagon wheels. You have to make sure the hole lines up, and you have to make sure that all the wheel holes line up too. Because they're not all, it's not just line up the wheel studs and it's perfect. Where that is actually perfect. I'll see if I can mark it. Right, so that's there. You won't see that. And then I can line that up with that. Let's see if that works. Lid. Too much stuff. Right, so put that in there. Get my beads sitting all nice and pretty. Hopefully these go together really easily. I mean, everything's it's a bit used now, so it shouldn't be as hard as when you first build the kit. If I have to, I'll have to find some longer, thinner bolts and put all the way through just to start everything. Right, so I can see that line's there. See that line's there. That should line up through there. Make me beads sit nice and pretty. Grab a hub. I believe that one's already got a bolt through it. Yep. Drop that in there. This is the bit where you could probably laugh at me trying to put these together. I don't think these were too bad. I need one of these. Alright, sit that like that, sit that like that. Grab my number 2. Oh, it started. Oh my god, it started straight away. If I can get this one started, but then we can put the whole wheel together. Yay! They're really chunky tyre for what? These aren't 1.55s, these are 1.9s. These are the factory wheels and tyres that come with this PG4. And they're beautiful. And I've put these tyres on backwards. Have I? No. Right. So, we've already got 2 bolts in there. Easy. Lovely. Bloody wicked, actually, because when I first built these, they weren't that easy. They weren't hard, but because the foam was so new and stiff, you had to put longer bolts through it to get everything started. Oh, oops, even better, because they'll fit my rims. Yep, so talk to Rob, mate. The cross spare parts are pretty bloody cheap. Pretty bloody cheap. Once I bolt one of these wheels on, you'll say, well, hopefully, you'll say, I can see why you want those back on there now. Because they make the truck. Like I say, it's a part of the reason I fell in love with this thing such a long time ago. And I've got to have one of those trucks one day. They're not as new as a TRX4 or a 10.2, but it's a hard body truck. There's so much nicer to drive than a TRX4 or a 10.2. In the fact that how scale it reacts, just how it moves around, and it's like a real one. You know, it's got that lazy wobble, if that makes sense. All right, so I've got all those started, which is awesome. I'm just now going to go around the rim and do up each bolt a little bit. I'm not going to do up one too much by itself because otherwise they'll end up pulling the rim out of the bead. And we don't want to do that because that's when the swear words happen. True story. I must have forgot that one. Right, work your way around, work your way around. So far it's perfect. How are they for diff clearance? So they don't hit mine. Do you mean how tall are the tyres, so how far away is your diff from the ground? Because that's going to depend on what sort of truck you got too. Because the PG4 has a pretty big pumpkin. I have got an unboxing video on my YouTube and you'll see how big the pumpkin is. But, I mean, it all comes down to how you drive. What people need to remember is these trucks, and this includes TRX4s and SCX10s, are trail trucks. They're not designed to conquer mountains. I know you can smash heaps of brass on them and all the wanky bits and make them do amazing things, but that's not technically what they're designed for from the factory. Right, working my way around, tightening all this up, making it all nice and good. And I can bolt this wheel on. I'm excited about this. Legitimately excited. Wicked. That's good. Right. What did I do about other hex? Anyway, it's here somewhere. Pop that on there. I need my wheel nut. I need my tool. Yeah, too many people forget that these trucks aren't just designed to go like this. You know, they're designed to look cool. It's an RC that you can drive a lot of places. I mean, I remember growing up, half the RCs we had were terrible. You had a battle to drive them across the grass. I need, God, that's another place to go. I need my metal one of these. It's probably in my backpack. I'll definitely have one in, you know. So this is my temporary, what I take, wheeling backpack. I've got too many pockets. Has to be one in somewhere. There we go. Always put one of those in your backpack. And if you've just built a truck, always put a set of tools in your bag, just in case. And I usually have a plastic container like this, just full of random nuts and bolts and pieces. Put that in your backpack too. Because you never know how often it might save you. Right, I'm going to brush the dust off this. Now this piece has a little rubber ring on it. You can't really see that. There you go, there you go. See it? Now what I'm going to do is, there's a little tag there too, you'll see. Right, that goes down there. I'm just going to put a little bit of saliva on this ring, just so it slides in, and then once it dries, it won't go anywhere. Is that in the correct position? Lovely. That is why I love those wheels. That looks better. What do you think? Do you think that looks better than the black ones? Definitely. Hell yeah. So that is why I'm changing them. Where's my jack stand? So yes, nothing else really planned for today. I've announced what the car's going to be for the kit's going to be, which is cool. In the next few days, I guess I'll do up the competition. What else? I put the BCA back together. So that's now ready to conquer trails again. Anyone got any questions? Suggestions of things you want to see? Because I'm not phased how long this goes, really. Just saying. Right, now this idea worked really well too, so do this idea. Line your wheels up. No. It's got to be right. There we go. Is that it? Yes. Line them up. Put a line straight across the wheel. Like yay. Then I'm going to bring that just across the face of the back of the wheel. You won't see this anyway because it's hidden by the front of the wheel. Just like yay. So now, when I've got to do this correctly, wheel goes that way, back of the wheel that way, yes. So now, when I put the wheel in there, you can see the little black line. And that way, when I put the front of the wheel on, I can look at here, there's my black line, line it up roughly with it, and push that in. That should line the wheels up without having any of the spokes off. David Burton's joined us. Dave's my older brother. Everyone say hello to Dave. Right, now I just got to make sure my beads are seated properly so we don't have those swear words later on. Do I run foams? Yes, in all trucks, Jamie. If this is just my opinion for whatever it's worth, if you don't run foams, your tyres are going to be too soft and they're going to bind up in rocks and such. And then when it binds up and you break something, you're going to blame the truck or some company for some of your bits, and it's not their fault, it's yours because you didn't run foams in your tyres. Foams in tyres are to simulate the amount of air in a tyre. That's probably the easiest way I can put it. That's what they're there for. If anyone tells you anything different, you say, whatever, mate. Basically. That's what they're there for. Now, obviously, you can play with different weight foams to get, the best performance for your truck. So, like, if you've got a really heavy truck, you don't want really soft foams, obviously. It'd be like going around with flat tyres. Did that start? Oh, awesome. I love these wheels. Lovely. Right. Righto's come back. Eric Suits is with us. I assume that's how you pronounce your name, mate. Suits. Right. We're not doing anything exciting, so you haven't missed much. I'm putting me baby back how it was from factory, because sometimes from factory's just better. Right, so now again we've got those two bolts started. The rest of it's simple, which is awesome. So happy they went straight in. Right, get through there. Lovely. I might even take this truck out this week. Now they've got me proper wheels back on it. It's like when you're a kid and you got shoes for your birthday and they made you run faster. That's what this is like. Did anyone else do that, or was it just me? Your parents would say, do you like your shoes? Yeah, they make me run faster. I can't have been the only one. They look very Mickey Thompson bar hard claws. The tyres, probably, I don't know. Apparently RC Full Drive make a similar tyre. How easy are these wheels to put together? You did it too, didn't you, Jamie? Huh? You got new shoes and they made you run faster. That's why he's just saying lol, he doesn't want to admit it. One more bolt, and then we can go around, we can tighten them all up, and then we can start the other side. If you guys are bored shitless and you don't want to see me do the other side, let me know, and I will stop the live feed, and I'll just do the other side in my own time. Yeah, you got me. I knew it. Ha! I knew I wasn't the only one. Just part of the fun, mate. Between that and swinging off the clothesline, it was a good time to grow up. Not like kids these days. Punks. I feel so old. We had the internet. The internet was bloody disconnected. Not disconnected. Like, there was a mechanical fault. In other words, some dick had cut the bloody fibre somewhere. There was a mechanical fault down the road. So the internet was off for 7 hours. And it went off just before Tammy got home from school. Trying to amuse a kid these days without the internet. They got no sense of imagination. I told her about how me and Dave and our other brothers and sisters would go outside and play Matchbox cars for, 10 hours? On a pile of dirt, and we'd just make our own tracks, and, we could do that all day. Kids these days can't do anything for 5 minutes without moaning about it. Reese, I got flogged for bending the clothesline. Memories though, man, right? Memories. That's what made our generation good. You had to have the odd ass kicking. It kept you in line. Kids these days are just mean, some of the stuff they say is painful. It's painful. Now, what did I do? There must be a hex in here. Because I put a wheel hex somewhere. I can't find it. Shock horror. Unless it's under the truck. Nope. What did I do with that? It's here somewhere. I hate losing stuff or dropping stuff. It was good times growing up in Australia. You could go to the shop and leave your car parked outside. I don't know what I've done with that wheel hex. She goes, I can't bolt the back wheel on. I am my own worst enemy. Reese, bring back the spoon. My nan was pretty good with a wooden spoon, I'll give you the tip. She was a little lady, but my word, could she swing a wooden spoon. She was scary. She was a scary lady. I don't know what I've done with the wheel hex, people. I've got no idea. How frustrating. That one's on there. I don't know. Right in front of you. Where? It probably is right in front of me. I do this all the time. That's why I'm looking in this bag. I thought, oh, maybe it was sitting in there, but it's not. I mean the black metal hex for the axle. I got no idea. He's going to be just here somewhere, I guarantee you. So that's the ones I've taken off. That's the one ready to go back on. Here, wheel hex. Be like, why did Jono stop his live feed? Because he gave himself the shits trying to find one little piece that he apparently put somewhere. This is why you shouldn't have a mess on your desk, right? But I do, and it is what it is. I've literally got no idea. Oh, I'll just take the other wheels off and I'll probably find it. Probably. That can sit aside. That can sit aside for that one. That I'll need for the next bit. That I'll need for the next bit. I've got no idea where I put it. Anyway, let's carry on. I'll just take these other wheels off and start doing those. And no doubt I'll find it. Now you have to excuse me, my truck's going to be in the way for a bit. So bad for the same thing. I guarantee you, what's going to happen is as soon as the live feed finishes, I'll lift one little thing. And I'll go, there it is. Still not there. Anyway. I've got more here somewhere. I'll just peel these wheels off. Where's that bag? Keeping all my nuts and bolts together for these wheels so that I can put them in the drawer and I know I've got a full set of wheels, nuts and bolts and everything to go. So should I want to put them on another truck or should I decide to sell them? I know where everything is. That's a top tip. Because I think it's almost embarrassing if you sell a set of wheels and you go, sorry mate, it's missing 3 bolts, I don't know where they are. Gonski. Game reckons she's Gonski. It's got to be somewhere. It's a pretty big wheel hex. I've just dropped my driver. Got it. Right. So once I'll just take both these wheels straight off and then I'll move the truck out of the way. So yeah, we're probably not too far from finishing this thing anyway because all I'm doing is talking smack and lose and stuff. Lose bits on the live feed, yeah. This is the thing, man. Nothing ever goes wrong until you start filming. That's how it goes. I can build one of these trucks blindfolded. As soon as I start doing it on a live feed, magically this part doesn't want to fit, or I'm not holding it right, or even if I'm doing a YouTube video, same thing happens. Right. That is that wheel off. That bolt. Yeah, lovely. Brilliant. Take the back, I'll take that apart in a second. Take the front one off. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm smart, I'm not going to unbolt the hubs until I change the wheels. Because that's the smart way to do it. That way you don't put a hex somewhere and misplace it. Jamie, you'd lose your head if it wasn't screwed on. Don't worry, I'm in that boat too some days. So, who's ordered some decal sheets? I can't wait for mine to turn up. Bloody John Davis, he's already turned up. Yeah, John Davis has already had his bloody decal sheet turn up. Same thing happened with the last decal sheet. I think it was Brian, I think. Is there still one of them? There is. I think Brian had his turn up with the last decal sheet before I got mine. So what I should have done, might get a sheet for the new project. Mate, it's got BCRC number plates on it. BCRC decals, and then it's got like all the cool vintage stuff for your scale garage. That's why I did all like the old Coke posters and stuff like that. Right, both wheels, he's off. Definitely no hex there anywhere. Did I knock it under my little bench here? No. I've got no idea. That's really quite annoying. Anyway, it'll turn up. Yes, no, yes. Right. I'll send you a sneak peek of what I'm building. Send it after the live feed. Don't mean to sound rude, but it always works better when you send stuff after a feed. Of course, I'm still looking for that hex while I'm doing those wheels. At least, I'll give you credit, you're not like Tony Gutierrez who likes to try and ring me during live feeds. You got in trouble last time. Dion's come back. Thanks for coming back, Dion. Unless you've still been here the whole time and Facebook's lying to me. I've got no idea where that thing is. I didn't knock it on the floor. I usually hear it when I knock stuff on the floor. Usually. Clean your bench, kids. Clean your bench. Not stuck in the middle of the hub with the other ring. What? No, that's why I pulled the old wheels apart. To see if it was stuck in there. But no, I couldn't see it. It's not in there. Nope. It's not on the truck. Beep. How annoying. Nope, work called, add emails, messages, take care of. That stuff gets in the way of fun. Right. Sorry. Right, take this one apart, and then we've got all the wheels apart. I'm still looking. It's got to be here. I want to bolt my wheels to my truck. So frustrating. One little hexagon-shaped piece of poo that just doesn't want to be found. Stop looking. Anyway, like I said, it has to be here somewhere. I will find it later. I'll just have to bolt 3 wheels on it and do some scale photos with a dude looking for a hex. Sure it's not in the axle? It's not in the axle. I checked that about 15 times already. It's not there. I've done that before too. That's embarrassing. Just quietly. We've all done these things. I'll admit it. But anyway, I'll get 2 wheels bolted on the driver's side, the Australian driver's side, and I'll show you what it looks like with the factory wheels on it, and then we'll call this a live feed because I might go and get some dinner. I'm just happy these factory wheels are going together really nicely and easily. I mean, even these, like, they come apart so quick. So I can recommend the D1RC wheels. They are quite nice. Right, beadlocker ringer. Yoink, yoink, beadlock ring. Set those aside. Now we're going to do a little trick with a straight line. Is that lined up? Yep. Lovely. Do that in the middle. Draw that line down there. Wicked. Might as well do this one while I'm at it. This makes it so much easier. Lovely. Right, now, always make sure your tyres are facing the correct way. I've just ordered some D1RC rims too. Which ones did you order, mate? The ones like those or a different style? Right, back half of the ring goes in, the rim. Set the bead nice and snug. If you want your wheels to go together properly the first time, put the time and effort into making sure you line stuff up. I hope that's the right front. Soon find out. Soon find out, mate. Where's that line? Yes, it is. Different style. So, oh, like the old dragway wheels. Like those, Rob. The old brake cookers. I remember having a 74 Fairlane and a bloke said to me, "Oh, you should put some bloody center lines on your car." Why? So I cook the brakes everywhere I go? Don't think so. Here, X. I'll find it as soon as the live feed finishes. That's what will happen. Right, put that through there. Put the front on there. Grab one of the nuts out of here. Well, you'll have to post up some pictures when they turn up, Rob. That one. Lovely. Started straight away. God, that's awesome. Yeah, should be here in about a week. I'll put a post up. Awesome. I actually, I talk with D1RC now and then. They said to me the other day, we're going to make some more tyres. So if you've got any suggestions? Yes, don't make 2.2s. Don't make them too big. So make 1.9s. So I also mentioned make them sticky and make them scale. So let's see how that works out. Because scale's where it's going. So I mean, it just makes sense to me that that's where these companies should want to go with the direction of their stuff. Make it scale, people. Hashtag make it scale. That's what we want. Even those that don't think they want scale. Hashtag make it scale. Bloody oath. You heard it here first. Scale's where it's at. The whole Lex and body thing's sort of starting to go by the wayside now. Like, I know, like, Cross make that FR4, the Lex and body on that's pretty epic. Especially with the amount of stuff you get with it for a factory body. It's pretty epic, and it's a good option for those that don't want to spend hard body money, but sooner or later it's just going to be, you buy a truck that's got a hard body on it. And if I'm honest, they're more fun to drive anyway. Hard bodies make the difference. More realistic, the better. Yes. Right. Last nut bolt of this one. Wicked. Bit of dirt in there. Right, I'm going to go around, tighten all this up, and then we'll do the last one. Yes, yes it is. I can confirm this. I've been saying this for ages, man. Scale's where it's at. Scale's where it's going. This is why when Axial released that god-awful excuse for it, ATV, UTV, whatever you want to call it, it's like, why? You missed the bloody boat. I know there's some people who go, oh, it's cool, I'll buy it. Good on you. Hope you enjoy it. Catch me buying one. That's not cooperating. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, Dion. It's just to see if we can bring some money in. I mean, obviously, at the same time, too, we're not stupid. We all know Horizon's sitting there going, well, we're not just going to let Axial pump out the better gear, and, you know, we're going to make our brand name the money maker. So what you're doing is you're going to force people to either choose between an old SCX-10-2, because I mean that's how it's getting now. It's been around for a little while and it hasn't changed much. You're going to make them choose between an old SCX-10-2, a Vatira, which is just going backwards. I'm sorry, but it's true. As soon as a company puts white moulded plastic wheels on their truck, it says, I don't care. So this is why Cross is starting to take over. And it's true. Like, I know a lot of you blokes like your RC four-wheel drive stuff, and you can abuse me for saying this, but the sunlight doesn't shine through a crossbody. It doesn't. I see so many pictures of these trail finders, and you can literally see sunlight shining through the body. That's why you don't inject mould your bodies with cheap plastic. Sorry, but you don't. You know, especially if you are going to ask top dollar for it. And I think it's fair to say RC four-wheel drive charge pretty top dollar for what they sell. Right, that way. And that's just, I'm not having a dig, that's just, I would assume, common knowledge. I've been talking to some people that own those, the Hero that JD Models bought out, that are RC Marcel, and they're having issues with the steering binding up. Rob's off, dinner's on the table. Enjoy your dinner, mate. Thank you very much for stopping by. Roro says he made it. Well, I'm glad you did, because I'm not going to be here for much longer. I'm just going to put this wheel together, put these two wheels on this truck, and then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, I reckon. Right. At the front of that one. I'll do a post on the page when I find that wheel hex. Lovely. Right. Hopefully this will just start straight away. Yep. Live is always good though. I appreciate that, mate. I really do. I try and go live as much as I can, so, you know, there's a lot of people get angry that they don't get to watch live videos. So look, I'm doing what I can. Sometimes you've just got to bear with me. If it's, you know, if it's the normal time that I do them, it's the normal time. got started. I'm feeling one of the nuts in here across through it. I think, which is fine because I should have some spares. So, this is my Sunday afternoon. Come on, sit where you gotta sit. Sit there. Sit there. You're not sitting there. Bear with me. Lovely. If I'm correct, there should be spares, I think. What time is it over there? 5:45. It is 5:45. What are the wheels for? I arrived late. These are the stock wheels for the PG4. I watched some YouTube last night of this truck with its factory wheels on it, and I miss having the factory wheels. I might be short on that. I might be. Which is fine. You get these anywhere. So I'm putting them back on my truck, mate. Jamie, better go upstairs in his mate's Audi. Oh, screw that. I would have started that this morning, mate, because you're going to be there all day. Not a whole lot of room to work under Audis. Right, so I need to find one more of those little nuts. Because apparently I've misplaced one. If there's none here, yep, there should be in this bag. Check out those for spare nuts and bolts and random bits. And generally speaking, ta-da! This is why you keep nuts and bolts. Because you never know. You never know when you're going to find the one you need. There. Oh, what? That one. That one. Right, so once I tighten this up, I should be able to put these wheels on the truck. And then we're probably going to call it a day. So I can go and get some dinner. Sorry, Chris, I know you only just joined. Happens every time. Someone joins and I go, okay, that's the end of the live feed. Right, like I've said 3 times already. I'm just going to go around now and nip up all the nuts so that they're tight and it's all seated nicely. And after the live feed, I'm going to hunt for that bloody wheel hex. For those that missed it, I've misplaced a wheel hex here somewhere. And it's frustrating me like you would not believe. Right. So, for my next trick, I'll undo, you can't see this, but I'm just going to quickly do it. I'll undo these hubs off here, hubs that come with the D1RC wheels. There's so many names, numbers and bloody things I've got to remember these days, it's crazy. Right, hex pin's dropped out, but I can see that. That goes in there. This hex pin's got to go in here. Bear with me one moment. So Jamie's off. Have fun with your Audi, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Right. Oh, yeah, poo. That's my way of not swearing and cursing. Right. Right. Rotate that so the hex pin's not just going to fall out, because that could lead to some choice words. Lovely. Stay. Hex on. Stay. Wheel on. Brain work. That'd be lovely. I think that's in there. I think. Tell me that didn't drop out. I'm not having a good afternoon with this. My hex pin doesn't want to cooperate. I think I've got it now, huh? I think. Right, and this is why you don't do stuff on live feeds. This is wholly and solely why you don't do stuff on live feeds. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to be enjoying taking the actual pin in the hex now, which is dumb because that's where it was. That's where it came from. Maybe there's some dirt and gunk in here. Bear with me, folks, peoples. Right. I'll try the other one I've got here. Right, that seems to sit better. That seems to sit better. Right, I think that's got it. Much better. Made that look difficult, didn't I? Right, I'll put my little hub piece on here. There. Lovely. Now I'll change the front one and then I'll show you what it looks like and then we'll call it a day. I know the end of this live feed's been nothing but a shambles, but sometimes that happens. For those of you that joined late, if you go back and watch, you will see I announced what kit is the prize for the competition. If you take your hex off, clean the crap out of it. I think that's the issue I had with that last one. Lovely. Now is it that one? Just that one. Lovely. So yes, go back and watch from the start. You'll see me faff around with the BC8. I put the body back on that. I'm just having no luck. These use tiny wheel nuts that don't like going on straight up and down, apparently. Right, sit her on its side. On its wheels, rather. Oh, that looks so much better. Sometimes you just got to leave stuff well alone. Because this truck looks heaps better, in my opinion, with the factory wheels than it did with those other ones. Right. Put on my little extra hubcap piece. Has a rubber ring that holds it on. There's a little notch that you have to line up. There. There, look. She's got her factory wheels back. Much better. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love that. It looks so much better with the standard wheels than it does with those other ones. All right, so that's going to be it. I'm going to hunt down this wheel hex that I've lost so I can put the other wheels back on. How irritating. Anyway, I'm going to hunt that down after the feed, and then I'm going to have a feed. So thank you everyone that stopped by. I appreciate it. If you want, give it a share. There's nothing massively special today, except we revealed what the special build, what the kit is for the prize for the competition that's coming up. So yeah, go back and watch that. Give it a share if you want. Take care and keep enjoying your RC stuff. All right, see you next time. Beep.